Oh, damn, that is out of key, but all right, that's something that I need to get to sort out next record. Bruins fans! Because that is a 3-1 victory over the New Jersey Devils. A game that was so hyped up that TNT just wrestled the frickin' rights to the game like Marchand wrestles the puck away. They wrestled the rights away to this game from NESN for a game that by the time it rolled around was a little bit less hype than it had been at like November or something like that. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is 100Bex, and this game was, well, again, this game wasn't exactly always hyped up to be, but it was still a good game. I'm not going to say it's a bad game. I'm going to say it's an all right game. It wasn't the high octane scoring extravaganza that you'd expect from a game to be to have networks fighting for its broadcast rights, but it wasn't exactly a complete snooze fest either. Now, before we start the analysis, I'm just going to say this right now. I did not watch the first period. Did not watch the only part of the first period that I watched was the Frederick fight. I was out having dinner with my grandparents and my family because, you know, good to cultivate good to foster I guess relationships with your extended family. So anyway, first period, puck drops, and I don't know what happens except for Trent Frederick and Kevin Ball get into a little bit of a toss. Kevin Ball, oh my god, Kevin Ball. I don't know who this kid is. By knowledge, he has played in less than 10 games in the NHL, and Trent Frederick this tonight has showed him, has pretty much given him his free admittance to the NHL. Hey kid, when you go to initiate a fight, especially against someone like Freddie, you keep your hands up and you do not look away. The Devils would have 11 penalty minutes throughout the entire game. And freaking Kevin Ball only accounts for 9 of them. 9 penalty minutes out of 11. I know 5 of those were for a 5-minute fighting major, but still, that means aside from that, your team took 3 penalties and you were accountable for 2 of them. That's not a good start to an NHL career, unless your goal is to just be a fourth line grinder. Anyway, Frederick just gives him what for. So Frederick has a fighting major for tonight. We love to see that. We love to see Frederick getting his gloves dirty. Second period, puck drops. I'm actually home for this. Is the Bruins are playing some pretty better hockey than I expected. Than I think I expected. I expect them to be. I always expect. Oh, second period started. Sweet. I guess it's time for us to just for our eyes to glaze over and do nothing. But no, Linus Ullmark again, Vezina candidate. Linus Ullmark makes some insane moves to stop any and all pucks going his way. That man is a Swedish national treasure. And then Trent Frederick, already with the fighting major, says, "You know what? I want to go for the Gordie Howe hat trick on this one." And Hampus Lindholm, noticing this, decides, "You know what? I'm gonna dump this puck back for Frederick because I don't have because I don't really have a clear path shooting angle, but Frederick does. Oh boy, Frederick does, and he blasts it right up the middle, and somehow stumps Vitek Vanacek from pretty much the bumper, and that puts the Bruins up 1-0. Now, one thing about the Bruins power play that I don't like, and one thing that and something that I really wish that they would stop doing, is the five forward power play. Now I know with Bergeron on there, it may seem like it's five, it's 4.5 forwards and half a defenseman, but even still, that's less than one defenseman. You have guys like McAvoy, and you have guys like Lindholm, players who are offensively capable as defensemen, and you're just gonna leave them out to dry on power play. Is when your team has a bad habit of playing way too far up and allowing the teams to just get breakaways on you. Well, thank God it didn't happen this game. So the Bruins, so the Devils end up killing the next two penalties, both of which ball takes, except the second penalty gets a little bit interrupted by Bergeron, by Patrice Bergeron taking a rare penalty from him. And this time he goes for interference on Dawson Mercer. We get about 1:30 of 4-on-4. Both penalties end up dying before the end of the third period. Puck drops, and the Bruins. One thing that the commentary does note is that the Bruins are doing a really good job of keeping the Devils to the outside, which honestly is something is amazing. Something that the Bruins sometimes struggle with, sometimes they're really good at, sometimes they're not so good at it. But tonight they were on point with it. They did it amazing, and oh my God, Zetterlund just passed it to the middle for Nico Hischier to tie the game. I'm not gonna lie. This goal is on Lindholm and Ullmark. Lindholm was right in the passing lane, did not choke it off, did not try to do anything other than it seems just pray that the puck just magically just ends up hitting one of his skates. And Ullmark, the puck was right in front of the crease, and didn't go. It wasn't a saucer pass. It wasn't anything like that. You could have just poke checked it away. And instead you undercommitted, and the puck went in on your short side. So the game is tied at 1. The game is tied at 1. It's okay. Bruins are good at this. They're gonna score. Oh my God, we've got an insane rush going. How are we not scoring? And the entire time during that rush, I'm like, this is what killed us during the Ottawa game. The Bruins are getting these amazing opportunities. Vitek Vanacek is pretty much flying out of the goal, trying to stop everything. And the entire time, nothing goes in. Nothing goes in. Until the last 5 minutes. The infamous Ford F-150 Final 5. It's not the Ford F-150 Final 5 here because it's TNT and not NESN, which I'm still a little bit unhappy about because NESN was not because Jack Edwards and Andy Brickley. Two of them are a great combo. But but in the last 5 minutes, Marchand ends up dropping the puck back for Lindholm. Lindholm ends up shooting from pretty much the blue line, out to the front of the net, where Bergeron just taps it down to redirect it past Vanacek to put the Bruins up 2-1. Fantastic. The Devils respond by pulling Vitek Vanacek check with like 3 minutes left. That always goes well. And lo and behold, Pavel Zacha ends up getting his revenge on the New Jersey Devils. He ends up Jack Hughes, his former teammate, ends up trying to tabletop him by himself going for a load block on him as he's breaking away for the goal. But and usually this would end up in as a penalty shot or hell, even with an empty net, potentially an automatic goal. But no, Zaka is not content with that. Zaka Flocka Flame ends up getting up, taking the puck, and corralling it into the net for the to put the game at 3-1. Devils almost immediately pull Vanacek again, and the clock ends up winding down to 0. Bruins go into their final game of the 2022 calendar year at sitting at 28-4-3, and our last game is against Buffalo. And I know that we like to joke about Buffalo being not that great of a team, but I feel like we should probably take into account that not only was Tage Thompson the first player not named McDavid or Draisaitl to get to 50 points this season, but also Buffalo just in general is one of the few players in the bottom half of their divisions in any division in the NHL that has a positive goal differential. And honestly, I feel like the Sabres are like 1 or 2 years away from truly breaking out into playoff contenders. So, Melody Martin, you might get your wish and get an actually watchable Sabres team in the future. And that's going to do it for tonight's episode. But before I go, there is also the matter of the Bruins Winter Classic Community Day thing at Boston City Hall on the 30th and the 31st. I will be there potentially both days. And given that both past and present Bruins players are going to be there for autographs, I might try and get the old sweater signed. And one of my friends got me a thing of hockey cards for Hanukkah, and Uncle Nick. I pulled Uncle Nick, and I might try and get him signed as well. So if any of you see me there, give me a holla. Give me a holla. Anyway, that is going to do it for tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. And down there is the like button. Right there is my YouTube channel. Up there is my most recent video, and down there is my Twitch.tv and the donation link for Tampa Bay Thrives. I will see you guys again on Saturday. Take care.